Hi, Kelly Eckold here to update you on the key events of the week. So we're in wartime now, so confidence in forecasts is quite low and updates are going to be quite frequent. Last week we made a first cut at trying to estimate the impact of the war on New Zealand, and we reduced the growth forecast by about 0.5%. This week we've gone a bit further, as there's been accumulating evidence that the war's going to take a while to resolve and there are going to be accumulating impacts on the New Zealand economy. We think that the growth in the economy is going to be weaker this year than we previously thought, at 1.9%, and it's going to be particularly weak in the middle of the year, where we see growth at minus 0.4% for the June quarter, particularly led by weakness in the consumer, who's going to be really struggling under the weight of higher fuel prices and quite high levels of uncertainty. Unemployment in this environment is going to struggle to fall, and indeed is likely to rise a bit further to 5.6% before falling back. And that's going to be a real kick in the guts for households and also the housing market, where we think now that house prices won't rise this year and indeed will fall modestly. Businesses are likely to pull back into their shells for the time being while uncertainty is quite high and costs are accumulating. That means that they'll scale back on hiring and also reducing investment, and it's those latter decisions that we think will be a bit longer lasting once made. For inflation, that's likely to rise quite significantly and will peak a bit over 4%, we think now. That's going to be quite a tough situation for the Reserve Bank, but we don't think that inflation is going to remain above 4% for very long, because we think that the war will end soon enough, but it is going to be a heck of a roller coaster for the Reserve Bank to negotiate. Which brings us to what the Reserve Bank is actually likely to do in this scenario. The playbook here for the Reserve Bank is usually to look through the short-term inflation and focus on the medium-term outlook. There really are exquisitely skewered here between very high inflation and quite weak growth. But Governor Bremen indicated when she spoke this week that they were going to stick to the playbook, and as a result there was no particular urgency to raise interest rates for now. Nevertheless, it's going to be a hell of a ride for them as they go through this year and into next. I'll be back to update you again next week.